Hi, and welcome back to Rooted at Badger Rock's virtual workshop series. We're here in the kitchen at Badger Rock. We're going to be doing a recipe today. It is beginning of August, coming towards the middle of August. Right now it's harvest time. Some of you may have seen our previous workshop in our garden. We did how to harvest our summer crops. So we did like a lot of tomatoes, squash, summer squash, zucchini, collards, green beans, okra. What else was out there? Well, it's just to name some of the few that we did. But if you caught some of that, you're going to recognize a lot of the ingredients we're using today in our recipe. We're going to be making a summer succotash. This is a dish that's kind of been around for quite a while. It's been around since like the 17th century or so. It's kind of a fusion recipe made from a lot of indigenous ingredients. So we have like corn and beans, squash, and then kind of influences from settlers around that time up in like the New England area. But it's also kind of, like I said, it's kind of a fusion blend. So it has been put even in southern takes as well. They'll add like okra and just some other ingredients that are a little more South region area. But yeah, that's what we're gonna be making today. The recipe we have, we'll include the recipe in the comments under this video. But there's a lot of different ways you can go about it. But some of the main ingredients that we're gonna be using today, we'll be having corn. We got frozen corn today. You can also use fresh corn, a sweet corn, whatever kind of corn you have. You can use some of that. We have onions we'll use as our base. We have green beans, fresh from our garden today. Some green beans here. You could also use things like lima beans or like butter beans, canned beans, whatever it may be. Like I said, you can really kind of do whatever you, or go any way that you want in this recipe. Let's see, we also have some fresh tomatoes. These are just little slicers. They're just really small, but these are slicer tomatoes. We also have a zucchini. Could use a summer squash too, but we just have zucchini out in our garden right now ready to go. We also have some herbs today. We have cilantro as well as some basil. So those will be our herbs today. A lot of good flavor going in with that. So yeah, it's a very simple dish. We'll start off with just some butter in the pan. We'll get our onions going in just a second. I've also seen other people like to do maybe like bacon fat. They'll render bacon first, and then they'll use the bacon fat to cook a lot of their vegetables in. Or even I think I saw a recipe that used chorizo too. So again, any way you want to go with this recipe, doesn't have to be just this one. So try it out, see what you can make of it. But yeah, today we're gonna get started. We got some onions. So we pre-chopped about 1.5 cups of onions here. We're gonna get this going into our pot. And we'll just start off with maybe like a tablespoon or so of butter. Just to get these onions down, start sweating. Go in here. So I'll just let these start cooking down for right now. We can start chopping our other ingredients while these start to heat up. All right, so I'll just leave these for now. Come back over to our table. So the next thing I'll start cutting up is our zucchini. We're gonna do about 1 cup of zucchini in here as well. Put this in a little compost bin. Cut that in half. Yeah, and we're just gonna want to dice this up, just nice size pieces. Back through. Rough chop. Let's get that going. I'll go a long way this time. Again, Summer Succotash just has all of our summer harvests in. A lot of great color going into it. I think that's kind of why I love just kind of thinking about this recipe, because it just has so much color in it. It's got the rainbow of colors that you want. So I'm going to start chopping up our beans next. Our green beans, we just want to chop off the ends of them so we don't have the little ends where the flower comes out, where they come off the plant. And then we're going to cut these into about maybe like 1/2-inch size pieces, bite-sized pieces. Actually, I'm going to give my onions a quick stir just to make sure. Those are going. All right. Those are good. Coming back to the beans. So yeah, some of these are bush beans, some of these are pole beans as well. A little bit of mixture of both in here. Get some of these out of the way. Yeah, we're gonna do about a cup of green beans as well. And these ones I'll just chop into a few smaller pieces. There we go. And why not try one while you're eating? You gotta have a little snack while you're cooking. So cut the rest of these ones. Again, about half-inch size pieces. Ooh, little stem in there. These are almost good. All right, next we got our tomatoes. I think I'll chop up one of these, and I'm gonna continue to stir our onions, making sure they don't burn. We just want them to start to get a little more translucent. Again, all these are just going to be pretty much rough dice. If you want a little smaller pieces, you cut them a little smaller. All right. So we got all of our major vegetables chopped: zucchini, green beans, tomatoes. And again, we have our frozen corn over here. So we can start bringing these over to our pan. Yeah. Starting to sweat our onions out a little bit. Just wait until they get a little more translucent, but they're getting about there right now. Then I always like starting with my heartier vegetables, so I usually do green beans first. And then zucchini as well, or summer squash, whichever you have. Get that one out of there. I might even throw just a little extra butter in, just for a little extra flavor. About a half a teaspoon. Half a tablespoon, that's what I meant, sorry. Let's get these going in. Yep, so a very simple recipe. Really all you're doing is just chopping up all your veggies, putting a little oil on the bottom, and then you're just going to start sauteing them. So let these cook up. For the recipe, I think it calls for about 3 tablespoons of cilantro and basil. So we'll just do this whole little bunch right here. That count as our 3 tablespoons. Just giving that a nice rough chop. And cilantro, such a fresh herb, fresh tasting herb. An herb I didn't like as a kid, but I don't know what happened. But now I'm enjoying cilantro, and I'm very thankful that I don't have the taste like soap gene or whatever it is that people have. I used to think I had it, but I think I just didn't like a lot of flavors as a kid. So maybe I just grew up, whatever it is. I'm really thankful for it because now I get a much more expansive palate and I get to try a lot more different flavors now. All right, so there's our cilantro. Right to the side. We got our basil. Let's take off these leaves here. Basil fresh from our garden. Another one of my favorite herbs. Pesto, I could probably eat pesto every day of my life, honestly. Especially basil pesto. Ball this up. I'll do a nice rough chop in this one as well. All right, so we got our herbs chopped up now. I might even do just one more on this one. All right. Now we can start adding in the rest of our ingredients. Our compost. We'll bring our corn over as well. Just a quick stir. I'm going to add in our corn. There we go. So yeah, this is a really good dish. I'd say more of a side dish. I think if you wanted to make it a full meal, you could add a protein into it. You could add maybe like chicken, shrimp, salmon. I think would be really good with this one too. But yeah, just a really good side dish on its own. Otherwise, And then depending on what you use, if you use like maybe frozen vegetables or vegetables that have a little more water content, a lot of that water is going to come out, and sometimes it almost be almost like a stew in a way. But depending on how much water is in your vegetables, it might just be kind of a side dish of veggies too. So the corn's in there. Add our tomatoes. More quick stir. And like I said, got that big range of colors in here. I always love eating the rainbow as much as I can, getting all those different kinds of vitamins and minerals from all the different vegetables. So we'll do maybe about 2 teaspoons of salt. We'll just do a rough little estimate. Maybe 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, and then maybe about a half teaspoon of pepper. Do a little bit. Kind of eyeball that one. No worries. One more good mix. And then I always like putting my herbs in at the end, just because they're very tender. So I like them to kind of have a little life in them near the end, so they don't get just completely pulverized into the whole recipe. So we'll add our cilantro, we'll add our basil. A lot of good flavors in here. So for the most part, this is what our Summer Succotash will look like in the end. I probably want to cook this for maybe another, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, I'd say, just until your onion or until your zucchini and your green beans are nice and tender to the tooth. So yeah. So if I wanted to, I could cook this down a little longer, but I think you guys can see the end result already. The beautiful color arrangement. Got all kinds of vegetables in here. Got some fresh herbs, a little butter for some extra savory flavor. And again, you could make this however you want. You could throw proteins in there, add other kinds of vegetables. You could start with a different kind of fat that you're sauteing with and everything. So numerous ways you can go about this. Again, it's just a really good summertime dish. Really makes you think of summer just because of all the colors, all the different vegetables you get to use in it. And yeah, you always want to try to figure out best ways that you can use your vegetables, especially when they're fresh. So this is a really good way to kind of get all those veggies in one plate and enjoy the most out of your harvest in your garden. But I think I'll let this cook down for a little longer and then we'll try it out. But I think I'll let you all go for now. So I just want to say thank you again for joining us and for checking out this recipe. I hope the rest of your harvests at home are really great, and I hope you get to make an awesome dish like this at home with all of your sweet vegetables. But with that, I will just say thank you, and we'll see you next time.